Oh man, people are so delusional. They're still lost in this. The more I read, the more I realize that there's a lot of people that still don't understand. Guys, welcome to the channel. And I was just reading this. Server meshing. Ashes of Creation claims no replication layer. Could Star Citizen use it? I was recently browsing YouTube and the following Asmongold React video popped up talking about server meshing tech done in Ashes of Creation. So other games are actually doing what CIG only fakes, only pretends to be doing. Video embeds still don't work, so I had to paste a link instead. Sorry for this. I think it's an interesting tech they have that eliminates the replication layer altogether. In addition, they claim to have managed to get servers running on multi-thread replication instead of single thread. Do you think this is something that Star Citizen could learn from and use? If current plans with replication layer goes not prove to be viable for a game of Star Citizen size. What size? There's nothing. You have 4 fucking empty planets in one system. Curious about y'all takes on this. You know what y'all think? That you don't get it, my man. Enigma 4. You know, you still think that they're trying to make a game. They're not. They're just trying to keep on the hype going in terms of, it's just so difficult. We're making this is like true space exploration. Like the other guy was commenting on, yeah, this is like launching a real rocket. I mean, the face, the shamelessness of Chris Roberts comparing himself with actual space exploration is, man. They're not trying to make any server meshing replication layer. Remember when they talked about persistence? Remember when they talked about, yes, you will drop dead and your rare gun will fall right there next to you, and some adventurer will find your body years from now and will. That is all a fucking lie. You don't have any. Nothing persists. Everything gets wiped. For years, they talked about working on persistence. And then one day they announced, we finally did it. We have persistence. And then when you saw that it was like a pile of shit, broken mess ships lying around, and people were complaining like, oh, this is actually terrible. I don't want persistence of pieces of ships lying all around all over the place. I don't want to have 1,000 ships, flooding every bunker, the same old shitty little bunker they've had all along, right? Flooded with ships. You don't want that, right? Okay, so yeah, we finally did persistence, but actually we didn't. But we'll even stop pretending we care about it, because as you see, persistence is actually a horrible idea. You've been lied to so many times. How can you take these people seriously? How can you believe that they are working on server meshing? Server meshing what? They show you a little clip. They explain a little bit of the tech that they're working on, which it actually never appears here, and it never will. No, they just have to get server meshing right. You hater, you normie, go back to your old game, normie. No, once they get this right, we will have thousands of systems and planets and explore. You're still being treated like a dumbass, like a child. CIG, legacy full mesh is stupid. We use a central mesh broker. AOC, legacy central mesh brokers are stupid. We use a full mesh. Pick one. Oh no, man. I know what I'm picking. I'm picking anything that is not CI green. That's what I'm picking. I'm picking No Man's Sky, where I actually have millions of galaxies and systems and exploration and things it's all the same once you do it. Oh really? Have you actually done that? Have you actually jumped into 100 systems? Because I've been doing that last couple days, and it's been pretty interesting. Yes, some are a little bit more similar than others, and some are, oh, it looks just right, like it's never exactly the same, but yeah, super similar. But you know what? Every once in a while, you jump into something that is completely different. It is unlike anything. You see, one of the things I saw recently, and I actually adopted that thing as a pet. Crab, spider-like looking fucking monster, horrible nightmare of a creature. But it was not hostile, so you threw a little bit of food and you adopted it. That is exploration. That is discovery. That's something new you hadn't seen in days, maybe, and you will probably go for another month of flying around and not seeing it again. That is exploration. Oh, but I don't like that. Oh, but it's not the way I want it to be because I want that in Star. You don't have that in Star Citizen. You never will have that in Star Citizen. And before you point out, oh, I don't like the way it looks. Oh, you tell me that you like the way the dog and bird in Star Citizen looks better? You're an idiot. I mean, that's simply not true. It is not accurate. The shitty dog that you have, not only you cannot adopt it, it doesn't even behave in any realistic manner. It has no reaction. It does nothing. It's literally just a JPEG standing there. And the same goes for anything. You swim around No Man's Sky and you see, a bunch of fish just swim as fish do. Birds flying in flocks like they do in real. Some of them are just like normal birds, and they make sounds and noises, and you're by the sea and you hear the waves, and when you find a paradise planet, it's very relaxing and chill, and flying low in that beautiful scenery is just awesome. You have to give it a go. You have to give it a try, especially if you still think that, it's cartoonish, Teletubbies. Not in Planets Part 1, it's not. It is a lot better than Star Citizen, that's for sure. If you think that's cartoonish, then this is a lot more cartoonish. Star Citizen is definitely more, it looks like a 1990s game once you get close to the surface and see that vegetation and those rock formations. It's actually pretty bad. Not the case in No Man's Sky, but people are still caught in this thing of, oh no, they're working on tech that's never been done before. No, there's No Man's Sky already. You don't have to wait for Star Citizen to lie to you some more and only then realize they were never working on any of this to begin with. It was just pretending to go for something. They maybe have a programmer or two they're working on something that it will never get anywhere. Keep in mind, don't forget, the people that actually cared, the people that were actually good at what they did, they left the company. Most of them, the last batch of true game developers, they left recently, actually. Todd Pappy? Guy said enough, man. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just burning myself here. I'm burning my reputation. This is all people. These are all guys that are sinking with the ship. The Titanic is sinking. This cannot possibly last because, sure, you can keep on selling ships that people don't even fly anymore. But once you cannot even fly it, what's the point in it? I mean, that's how I feel. I cannot even fly the ships that I bought. I can't fly the ships that I get through the referral. Why would I spend a single cent more if there's no point in flying them anymore? There's not only no point in flying them, which has been the case for a long time, with Master Modes, it's not enjoyable to use your ship anymore. And with 324, it's not even enjoyable to do cargo hauling anymore. So why would I have a CCU for the Hercules C2? I don't even have that in game. I have this CCU for it. I could apply to something that I have, right? I have a bunch of CCUs for different things. It's just, there's no point in it, right? I had the ship in game, so I hadn't applied it because I still was in that stage of, well, maybe things get better. So I have the CCU for it and a bunch of others for different ships that I thought eventually I could enjoy flying around. But because I already had them in game, right, there was no point in changing the ship that I already had. So you know what I mean. You already have the C2, you already have the 890 jump, you already have a bunch of ships in game. So you don't apply the CCU for it until the next. But now that the next thing is coming, what would I do with it? I mean, there's no point in having an 890 jump now in game. There's no point in buying it. There's no point in buying it with real money. There's no point in buying it in game. I've had it in game for years. I maybe used it half a dozen times and just to look at it, but right, you don't use it for anything. And what about the ships you could actually use? The C2 has always been the most useful ship in the game. C2. You could do combat with it. You could do beacons. You could go fight a bunch of hammerheads. Not anymore. I mean, you can still do it, but it is like being blind compared with what it used to be. It is just like being a cripple. You're basically competing in the Special Olympics when you used to compete in the full-blown thing. Now you're blind. Now you're crippled. Now you're a one-legged guy trying to dance when you used to do that in a different way, in a complete manner, instead of the arcadey game you have now. Now with a cargo being dead because of all of this mess, that the lack of inventory and the elevators for stuff and the physicalizing of the cargo, which is still not real. It's still all just a big old lie. You don't have any of that, right? They just pretend you have that while limiting the same thing you already use, but to a smaller space. Didn't physicalize anything. Oh, I'm dropping these things in my cargo elevator. Fucking Christ. Who the hell enjoys that level of micromanaging? I do. No, you don't. It's maybe a couple crazy cultists that will just die with this thing. They will sink with the ship. But no one in his right mind enjoys having to move one box with one bottle of water to an elevator, and then when you go to an actual place, because they haven't even bothered to do this correctly, you just get your ship stolen. Someone waiting in a station, they just steal your shit. What's stopping them from? You cannot even defend it because, armistice zone and all. So you're exposed to all sorts of griefing and shitting on you, and of course pirating, which is okay. But griefing and just being exposed because of poorly designed gameplay, which is all you have now, they only have the worst people. The useless people that cannot get a better job in the real gaming industry, those are the ones that are still in there. Those are the ones still hanging around with CIG. Or the ones that accept, I get a paycheck at the end of the month, I get to hang around here, and nothing is expected of me. I just have to pretend that I'm working on a game, which, if you have any kind of honesty, you're not going anywhere with it. I'm working on Fire now. Okay, awesome, man. You're working on Fire on Steel? Sounds incredible. It actually is, because that's not a real thing. But yeah, you have the fire effect, and you talk about it for 15 minutes, how, yes, fire. Okay, that's awesome. Nice. Well done, man. Super proud of you. There's nothing, and people are noticing it. So get over this idea of, but server meshing. We've gone past that. You already had No Man's Sky doing all of this before. You can actually have a station in a planet or in a moon with a table, with a gun you leave on that thing, in whatever fashion you can fathom. You can have a place that will persist. And years from now, someone shows up and it's still there. And that station is still there. And that plant is still there. And all of these things that you're being told has never been done before, it actually has been done before. It is actively being worked in other games as well, making it better than Star Citizen will ever do. And you just have to accept that's a fact. Oh, but they're never done before. Yeah. Good luck, guys. Take care. See you next time.